This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900.
Welcome to News 25. Today is Tuesday, February 15th. Well, a man who suffered a gunshot wound to the head is now recovering in a Las Vegas hospital. Pahrump Valley Farm Rescue Chief Scott Lewis says quick action by medics may have very well helped save his life.
We were dispatched for a report of a gunshot wound, and it was reported to be in the head, so it added a full assignment for us, including placing the medical helicopter on standby. As we arrived on location, we found that the patient required to get to Desert View Hospital as timely as possible. Therefore, that patient was transported level 1 to the hospital and later flown from the hospital to another facility in Las Vegas. We were initially placed to level 1 staging, but it was through reports, it allowed us to feel relatively comfortable with scene safety, and therefore we tentatively moved the crew forward, and it was a good choice for the patient care perspective, and we were able to get that medic crew on the life-saving measures immediately, thus giving us the ability to possibly have saved that person's life.
Well, a Strickland well drilling work truck snagged utility lines and snapped off 2 power poles, knocking out power and internet to a large number of customers in the Pahrump Artesia neighborhood over the weekend. Pahrump Valley Farm Rescue Chief Scott Lewis describes his department's assessment of the scene.
The initial report for us was a pickup truck versus a power pole with down power lines. As crews arrived on location, they found that several power poles had been compromised by a truck. Subsequently pulled the lines, which then in turn pulled the power poles down. There was a pretty extensive outage in the area, including the internet, power sources, things like that. VEA crews mustered quickly and commenced to repairing those poles and getting all the service. And I believe it was approximately 20 hours before all services were completely restored. So those lines are attached, and obviously when there was enough force placed on those lines, they compromised the poles and snapped them. It's still under investigation, but it's my understanding that the bed was raised on the truck began moving, and then in turn collided with the power lines.
Well, even though the lines were energized, at the time of this crash, no injuries were reported at the scene. Valley Electric says that nearly 1,200 customers lost power due to this accident. Service was restored to most of those customers in about 2.5 hours. But the crash also damaged broadband fiber optic lines, knocking out the Valley Internet service to more than 2,000 customers for about 20 hours. Well, there have been 5 confirmed deaths related to COVID-19 reported since last Monday. 1 is a resident of Beatty and 4 are residents of Pahrump. The 130 new COVID-19 confirmed positive cases have occurred here in Nye County over this past week, with 4 in Tonopah, 3 in Amargosa, 2 in Smoky Valley, 2 in Beatty, 1 in Gabbs, and the remainder right here in Pahrump. The total, 6,179 confirmed cases of COVID-19 since the first case was reported in March of 2020. Nye County test positivity rate is 29.4%, which is the 10th highest here in the state. Totals do not include at-home testing, which is the majority of tests happening right now. Nye County schools say that their cases are 19 positive new cases among students and 7 among the faculty for this past week. And the COVID-19 and flu vaccine clinic is held on Tuesdays here in Pahrump from 9 to 1 at the Community Health Nurse's office at 1981 East Calvada Boulevard. You have to call for an appointment, 775-751-7070. And every home in the United States is eligible to order 4 free COVID home tests. Orders usually ship in about 7 to 12 days. Please visit covidtest.org. In Tonopah, the kits are available at the health nurse's office at 1 Frankie Street, and vaccine and COVID testings are also available through Serenity Health right here in Pahrump. Well, Pahrump Valley Rotary Club wants to help fight hunger in our community. Monday, they presented a check for nearly $7,000 to the Love Our Community food drive, money that will assist several local food pantries.
Your local Pahrump Valley Rotary Club is presenting a check to the food banks of Pahrump. We're going to have the Nye County Coalition distribute the funds because, of course, we're the best at it. We put up $4,000 and asked for some matching funds. We got $2,879 in matching funds. So that means we're still a little short out there, folks. So break out those checkbooks. We got to get this going. Anyway, it's something that we're doing because it's important.
I'm really excited about being a part of it. I really cannot be proud enough for all of the Rotarians that took time out of their busy schedule to come out and support this great effort to help people within our community.
We're so happy to be here and to receive this funding from Rotary. I can't tell you how much this benefits the pantries that we have in our community. As most of you are aware, Nye County is one of the hardest hit when it comes to food insecurity. Our pantries here with us, wave in the back, ladies, are so appreciative and thankful for your donations. We are always happy to partner with Rotary. We're going to allow all of our partner food banks here in Pahrump to make requests for donations. We work with any and all food pantries, so anyone that's interested is welcome to contact us. And as long as you're established as a nonprofit food pantry, we'll work on getting you some donations for some food.
Much more news, including a rebuttal from the Sheriff's Office when we return.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, we do have some late breaking news that just came in from the Sheriff's Office regarding a rebuttal to an article that was written by the Las Vegas Review-Journal over the weekend. The sheriff says that the Nye County Sheriff and chair of the Nye County Board of County Commissioners is aware of the allegations made by a reporter in the Las Vegas Review-Journal accusing the sheriff and her staff and the Nye County administration and their staff of numerous offenses. The article included numerous allegations which have been investigated and adjudicated previously. The article contains numerous inaccuracies, lies, and innuendos. However, the new matters primarily center around pending litigation and personnel matters which we cannot comment on, the sheriff says. Past administrations responded to the reporters in a knee-jerk fashion, they say. However, Sheriff Worley will not be wallowing in the mud with reporters, and certainly not over the almost decade-old repeat allegations from previous administrations. The sheriff staff is committed to spending their time protecting and serving the public and will not be engaging in public banters with criminals who are defending themselves using a newspaper reporter. That's what the sheriff is saying in her press release. The Nye County Sheriff's Office and the Nye County as a whole do not appreciate the attempt to incite local unrest, destroy our tourist business, and attempt to dissuade people from moving to Nye County communities. As always, allegations of misconduct by Sheriff's Office staff will be reported to the sheriff by calling 775-751-7000. You can also go to the form at NyeCountySheriff'sOffice.com on the web, to the Peace Officer Advisory Review Board by submitting online at NyeCounty.net. Also, appropriate action, she says, will be taken at the conclusion of all investigations in accordance with the law and applicable collective bargaining agreements. And this is the only comment that Sheriff Sharon Worley says that she'll be making on that. And that was some late breaking news we want to make sure that you guys heard about. If you want to see that whole press release, you can go on to our Facebook page for KPVM TV. Well, Red Flag Nels 22.1 is in the books. The 3-week military training exercise wrapped up on Friday. The semi-annual Red Flag exercises provide a unique training experience for the U.S. Air Force and its allies from around the world.
Red Flag 22.1 is unique in that we continue to build on the scenarios and problem sets that we have in years past. And what we are delivering during this Red Flag is a more advanced threat to fight against and in more complex scenarios. The problem sets that we're presenting during this flag have never been seen before, and they're not solvable unless we bring all the forces from our allies. The Department of Defense's pacing threat is China, and needless to say, we are preparing for all threats and all scenarios that we could face across the world. One of the main focus items that we have here is working on the interoperability and integration with those forces so that we can be ready to fight alongside our allies anytime, anywhere.
For the Royal Air Force, Red Flag represents an unparalleled opportunity to operate and train in a contested, degraded and operationally limited environment that we can't do anywhere else in the world. The capabilities that both the USAF have here and our Australian colleagues as well, combined with our own, makes us a much more effective fighting force when we all learn and understand each other's capabilities.
The ability to train for multiple scenarios in multiple locations around the world is something that is unique to Red Flag and Nellis Air Force Base and the Nellis Test and Training Range.
The ability to actually afford that exposure to our crews and our personnel to operate in this environment is paramount to us creating that high-end warfighter who's confident to go into a fight and be able to come home safely.
Exciting stuff. Well, Bank of America here in Pahrump has sent a letter to their customers, a letter of intent. They're confirming that the Pahrump location is closing. They're located at 750 South Highway 160 right here in town. That office will permanently close on 5/24 of this year. B of A says that you can use their locator tool to find the most up-to-date information about our services and locations nearest you. You can also give them a call, 877-218-8262 for assistance. And if you are a safe deposit box customer, you will receive a separate letter regarding your safe deposit box. They say that an ATM will be available here in town. And of course, if you missed any of that, it's on our KPVM Facebook page. Well, according to a Cleveland Clinic survey, most Americans know if heart disease runs in their family. However, 1/3 of those surveyed believe there's nothing that they can do to reduce their risk if they have a family history. But that is not the case.
If you have a family history of heart disease, that does not mean that you are going to get the heart problem. On the contrary, if you have family history, you should investigate why you have the heart problem, or you can get the heart problem, and you can prevent it if you have the proper treatment at the right time.
The survey shows 40% of people who have lost a family member to heart disease have never been screened for the condition, and that jumps to 54% among millennials. Dr. Samir Kapadia is a cardiologist with Cleveland Clinic. He says family history can be related to various factors that affect the heart, and many can be modified. High cholesterol and diabetes are good examples of hereditary conditions that can be managed through diet, lifestyle, and medication before they cause heart problems. Even genetic heart issues can be identified and treated thanks to medical advancements.
There is also now much fancier tests to understand why family history is impacting your heart health. So if you have cardiomyopathies, if you have long QT syndrome, so there are genetic problems, then you have specific treatments now designed to counter those familial traits that can lead to ill effects.
If you have a family history of heart disease, Dr. Kapadia recommends talking to your doctor about ways to reduce your risk.
All right, more news on the other side of this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
All right, let's go to your sports report right now.
Hello, sports fans. Lots to cover. Let's get started. What can I say about the Super Bowl? It played out exactly as we all thought it would. A close game to the end. Remember my prediction last Friday? My pick is the Rams 27-24, but don't take my word. What's your prediction? 3 points is 3 points. Am I right? Of course, you all know by now the Rams beat the Bengals 23-20. It took 58 minutes before Matthew Stafford's pass to Super Bowl MVP Cooper Kupp decided it, but Bengal quarterback Joe Burrow was seemingly setting his team up for a game-tying field goal with a little over a minute still on the clock. The Ram defense had other plans, sacking Burrow 7 times in the game, and on the last drive with time running out, Aaron Donald and the Ram defense held on 4th down and short at midfield for the win. That is the second straight win for the host city team. Next year, the big game is in Glendale, Arizona, home of the Cardinals. That might be a good preseason bet. The Pahrump Valley boys basketball team took the court last night in Mesquite in the first round of the regionals. Although the Trojans battled and led by 5 at the half, Virgin Valley came out and dominated the third quarter 20-8 on their way to beating PVHS 56-52. The boys finished the season at 12-12. The PVHS girls basketball team takes the court tonight at home hosting Southeast Career Tech in their first round regional matchup. The Lady Trojans are 25-1 on the season and have previously beaten Career Tech twice since the end of January by an average of 28 points a game. Senior Taylor Wambecker, who leads the Lady Trojans in scoring, was part of the 30-4 team from 2 years ago. She said she feels good about a deep playoff run.
Going into playoffs, I feel really confident. I think our team works really hard every day in practice, and I think we've gotten to the point where we're comfortable with each other and we know where each other are and we trust each other. So I think playoffs is going to go really well.
Coach Bob Hopkins compares this year's team to that 30-4 team from a few years ago.
The team 2 years ago was pretty much like this team. We don't have any real stars. Taylor's our leading scorer in that, but we have defensively, I think we probably play as good a defense as we did 2 years ago.
Tonight's game tips off at 6:30 p.m. The PVHS wrestling team headed into last Saturday's regional tournament in Mesquite looking to qualify more wrestlers for the upcoming state meet. Chris Vega, Gunnar Cortez, Brennan Benedict, Colby Tillery, and Tanner Hanks each took their weight divisions and regional championships Saturday. This Saturday, the team heads to the state tournament in Boulder City. Coach Craig Rieger says his team is ready.
The state wrestling tournament's at Boulder City this Saturday. Starts at 9 o'clock. We're bringing 12 varsity wrestlers and ready to compete for a state title.
Good luck to the girls basketball team and the wrestling team as they both pursue state championships. The Las Vegas Golden Knights host Colorado tomorrow night at 7 p.m. and the Henderson Silver Knights are in Colorado for 2 consecutive nights beginning tonight at 7:05 p.m. One last noteworthy item, the new Las Vegas Aces head coach Becky Hammond is one of 7 players and coaches being inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Hammond played 7 seasons in the WNBA with San Antonio, who were moved to Las Vegas and became the Aces, where Hammond is now the new head coach. The induction ceremony takes place on June 11th in Knoxville. If you have any inspirational stories, athletes, or ideas, drop me an email at dougf@kpvm25.tv. Now, back to the news desk.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Some ominous cloud hanging overhead right there. A little bit of the wind, I think, blowing them up there, but they're looking like they might have a little bit of rain in them. I wonder what's in store. John's going to tell us when we return.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. Yay, it's a Tuesday, and what happened? Wow, things really got crazy cold up north. Look at this. Fernley, Fallon, Carson City. These guys were all in their mid-60s yesterday. They barely hit mid-40s. Tonopah, a cool spot in the state at 39. Put on a sweater for sure. Goldfield, I'm feeling you at 40. Beatty, 50 degrees. It's as we get south, well, you know, it's getting a little more reasonable. Amargosa, 64 today. Las Vegas, our hot spot, finally. Kind of rare anymore. Usually Amargosa beating you out, but boy, look at you at 67. 71 in Death Valley, and here in the Paradise of Pahrump, 55 degrees is our current temperature. We're loving it. Low tonight, about 40 degrees. North-northwesterly winds to 11 miles per hour. It's starting to calm down a little bit. Not really, but tonight maybe we get a little break. The humidity at 49%. I don't think we're going to see any rain as the sun is setting like right now, and you know, then it'll be dark. When are we going to see rain? We're not going to see the rain. It's going to be dark. Sunrise tomorrow, 6:29. Yay. Mostly sunny skies tomorrow, high of 63, and the wind continuing with us out of the northwest at 20 miles per hour. It's going to beat us up for the next couple days, but how's that stretch out for the rest of the week? Not so far, actually. Wednesday, yeah, lots of wind. Thursday, Friday, we're going to be down in the single digits on the wind. Temperatures returning to fighting trim. Saturday, look at that 69-degree high. And then the clouds start coming in, and a little more wind on Saturday and Sunday, Monday. We're going to see some rain perhaps on Monday. We're 22% chance. At this far out, it could develop, and we'll keep an eye on that and let you know for sure. But enjoy the sunny days while you can. Back to the desk, here's Deanna.
This is
anything to do with my Facebook today, you know that there's a whole bunch of people saying happy birthday to Darby, and we're going to say happy birthday right now to Darby, who turned 26 today, my kid, and we just want to wish her the best of all birthdays, and we hope she's having a great day. We'll see you in a little while. for those tacos and movies there, Darby. And thanks so much. If you want to see all those posts from everybody in town, including the sheriff and the fire chief and everybody, you can go to my Facebook page and see all those. And if you want to send Darby a video saying happy birthday, send it to me. All right, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Good night.